Hello, John.
Hello, Michael. We are live. Hello to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie of Georgia Beer Reviews. I am joined by Michael Komaroff from Brooklyn, New York. And today we have a special treat for all of you beer lovers out there. At least I think so. We are looking at the Founders Underground Mountain Brown. It is an Imperial Brown Ale. Clocks in at 11.9% alcohol by volume. It is 30 IBUs. It is one of the new Barrel Age Series beers from Founders this year. Founders Brewery is out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, for all of you who didn't already know that. And I have had this before. This is my third 4-pack now that I've bought. Michael, this is your first time.
My first one. It was on your recommendation that I'm buying it. I asked Kuzi in the co-op to get it for me, and she was able to get it for me.
All right. Well, I'm very excited to see what you think about this beer. We've got John Womack in the chat says hello. Hello to you, John. And Drunken One says, hey there, John and Mike. Hello, Drunken One.
Hi, Drunken One.
Hi. Also, Johnny from View to a Grill says he's popping in for a bit. Thanks, buddy, for tuning in. Great food channel over there, View to a Grill. If you ever watch this channel, you're going to have the munchies afterwards. Anyway, all right, let's get right into it. Michael, I'm going to let you lead off since you have never had this beer. You can go ahead and pour it up, give me the aroma, the tasting notes, all of that good stuff.
Okay, I'm writing it in my book, and this is what it looks like in the glass. I'm sure yours will be very similar. Let's line it up here. It's a very dark brown, and let me look through light. You can see kind of a red hue in it, so it's not totally opaque, but it's very dark brown with kind of like reddish tints in it. And the head is kind of like a tan beige color. Let's see what it smells like. Wow. You have the bourbon barrel on the top, and you have the coffee coming up both at the same time. This is wonderful.
Right, and they use very good coffee with this Sumatra coffee, which is supposed to be some of the best coffee out there. I'm not a huge coffee guy, but that's what I hear.
This is one of the first ones I've ever had that was both bourbon barrel aged and had coffee in it, where they're both coming in like equally in this. It's not the nose, at least, is not dominated by the coffee.
Yeah, and I have a theory about that. I'll come back around after you finish with yours.
I'm really getting.
I have a theory as to why that is.
Getting the bourbon barrel very heavy as well as the coffee, but it's a positive thing.
Right, absolutely.
That's all I'm getting. I'm not getting any roasted malts or anything else that you might get in something like this, but the two main tastes are very strong and wonderful. I mean, it's like a terrific nose.
All right, well,
I can't wait.
I agree. I'm just going to agree with everything you said on the aroma. The reason that I think that you're getting more of the bourbon is because this technically is a brown ale and not a porter or stout. So the roast is not interfering with the bourbon notes as much. You're getting more of that, which I really, really love with this beer. And it sounds like you probably will too. So, let's go ahead and get into it.
The sip already, and the taste is incredible. It's almost like what they've done is they have that perfect combination of the coffee with the bourbon barrel aged, and the alcohol is really well masked on top of it. This doesn't taste anything close to 12%. I mean, it's amazing.
Right.
You can tell that it's more than a session, though.
Right, because, not necessarily because it's boozy as far as the alcohol burning the back of your throat or anything like that, but it does have those nice bourbon notes that you don't get with your standard beer.
Right, and it's I can't believe how well balanced this is too. It's like, well, everything as you advertised it is. I mean, it's now it's not complex per se. In other words, it's not like there's 7 things going on. But the two things that it's doing tremendously are it's combining the bourbon barrel aged effect with the coffee perfectly. So it's like a perfectly balanced beer, and the alcohol is covered. It's not like it's boozy at all.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of the reasons I like this one so much, and this one for me is right up there with the KBS and the CBS And honestly, like I said, this is the third, four pack that I bought. And in my area, it's $14.99 for a 4-pack, which I think is an incredible value for this type of beer, for this quality beer. The interesting thing to me is, like, I like this as much, if not more, than the CBS and KBS for the reasons that you stated and that I stated when I did my review. The bourbon notes come through more, and I think that's because it's a brown ale. So the coffee and the bourbon are more balanced. You're not getting interference from the really deep roast that you would get from the stout, the CBS and the KBS. But the price point, this is, I mean, 4 of these for $14.99, 1 year aged in bourbon barrels. And in my opinion, this is just as good as the CBS, KBS, maybe even a little bit better because it's more balanced. I love it.
I am with you. I really am. This is amazing. I'm amazed because up until now, and again, I've had a couple of CBSs. I've had more KBS because that's easier to get. But it's the way this combination is amazing. And I wonder if it's the fact that it is barrel aged for that full year, that extra time allows the bourbon to develop.
I think it is the year aging and the fact that it's a lighter bodied beer to begin with. So the bourbon comes through a little bit more than it does with the CBS and the KBS, because those are a little bit more full bodied. The roast is heavier, more prominent, and that kind of takes over a little bit of the coffee and a little bit of the bourbon. Whereas with this one, because it's a brown ale, that's not the case.
Right. I love this.
I'm glad you like. Did you just buy one, or did you pick up a 4-pack?
I just bought one, but I can get more. When I go back to Co-op, I'll get more because I'm paying about the same as you did. I think mine is a 4-pack is $15.08, so it's 9 cents more, which is,
considering New York prices. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good deal. Yeah.
But again, the Co-op, they don't buy the kind of volume, so I guess they can't pass along on everything. But it's still a good price.
Right. Drunken One is in. He's either shocked. I guess he's shocked. I don't know what he is. He says, "Oh, yes, Drunken One. If you can find this beer, buy it. Buy it, please."
I think Founders has a footprint pretty much in most of the states where if they distribute their regular beers, you should have access to this. I would think.
I think so. I see it pretty much everywhere now. And the guy at the liquor store where I bought my last 4-pack. I told, there was only one more on the shelf. I said, please tell me you're getting more of this in. He said, yeah, I ordered like 12 or 15 more cases of it because we can't keep it on the shelf. And I definitely want to get it for as long as I can. So it's selling very quickly, but apparently there's a pretty good supply of it because the fact that this one retailer was able to order 15 more cases of it, I thought that's a significant amount for one store.
I could go back to the Co-op, and I'm sure there's more left, and I'm sure she has some more in the basement, but she could probably order more too. Now, I don't know how. We have to see how it goes in the food Co-op. The people buying there are a little bit more, I don't know, they're set on certain beers. They do buy Founders. They sell a lot of the Dirty Bastard. They sell some of the KBS hasn't been rolling out. There's still a couple of 6-packs sitting there. I know she has some of that in the basement too.
Yeah, it's interesting. The KBS, Shane Fudge, a couple of our beer buddies, like on the IBRG chat and the Facebook groups, like they'll post these pictures of these stacks of cases of the KBS. In my area, it disappeared very quickly. But some parts of the country, they still have a ton of backstock left.
Did you notice yesterday I posted something from a Binny store in Chicago, which had it for $16.99 for a 4-pack? And they had a ton of it. Now, if I could get it for $16.99 a 4-pack, I would buy a lot of it because that's a really good price. I don't like paying $23 for a 4-pack, which is what it is at the food Co-op. So you say if you really loved it, you'd pay that too. I bought one, which I think we did together.
We did, yeah. We did an examination on my channel, and then Bumpy did a follow-up examination on his channel, which I don't know if you were on that one as well.
But I was. I think I just did.
We did a couple, and I honestly, I think I like this better than the KBS.
I do too. I don't know about the CBS though. The CBS with that maple to me might be right on the same line.
Very, very close. Yeah.
I mean,
But
I gave
if
the
you're thinking
KBS.
about it in terms of price, the CBS is $25 for one bottle. You
I
can get
know.
a 4-pack for $14.99. So is it worth the extra
No.
$11
No, it's
for,
not.
you know?
It's not. No, this is a value. This is a real value in comparison.
I think they hit it out of the park with this one. And you already know what my score is. I believe I gave it a 99. And the only reason I'm not giving it 100 is because I'm trying to really get away from the hundreds, because no matter how good this is, I'm sure I will find something. Maybe the 2020 release of the Goose Island Bourbon County might be better than this. So for all intents and purposes, this is a world-class beer, people.
I'm giving it a 99 too. And
right.
I gave the CBS a 99 and I gave the KBS a 98. So they're all world class too. It's not like, see, Drunken One can get the KBS.
Right.
There's a lot of it out there still.
That's unfortunately, it's strange though. I guess it just depends on the area. Like maybe there's a lot more craft beer people here that like the stouts and stuff, which is kind of crazy, considering that we live here in one of the hottest states in the country. It's always hot and humid here in Georgia. It got up to 96 degrees again, but anyway, I mean, these beers are selling like crazy here. These darker beers, regardless of what time of year it is. So
we can have warm weather in the fall, but we've had a nice stretch now. Today it was only in the mid 70s, which is really nice.
Right.
To get a nice breeze. I was out walking, and it'll get warmer again, but usually we don't get 90-degree weather in September here. Be very unusual, but it could happen.
John Womack had 13 Hopadillos and a quarter bottle of Kraken, and somehow he is still alive to comment on this stream. Thank you, John. Wow. We appreciate it. I think my liver might burst out of my my body if I had that much to drink.
That's a lot of heavy action.
That's not only is that the Kraken is heavy duty rum, but 13 Hopadillo. If I'm not mistaken, Hopadillo is a pretty high ABV IPA.
Wow. So that's a lot of consumption at one time for sure.
All right, John.
Now, John, I didn't mention too, the lacing on it is really wonderful. You look at the side of your glass, it sticks to the side of the glass, which is nice. And the carbonation is very nice. I didn't mention the carbonation is very nice in this too.
Okay, so Drunken One says the Hopadillo is 7.2. Thank you, Drunken One. Yeah, there is some nice carbonation with this. A lot of times when you get these bourbon barrel-aged beers that have been sitting for a while, you lose the carbonation. And like you said, this one actually has a nice little bite, nice little prickliness. It's obviously not super carbonated like American Adjunct Lager or anything like that, but there is some nice carbonation to it. And I don't know if we mentioned the body. One thing I like about this versus the CBS and KBS, although those are stouts, this one has everything going for it that those have. The body with this one is more medium. It doesn't get into the syrupy, heavy body that you get with the CBS.
Right.
Maybe not the KBS. The KBS isn't necessarily syrupy. It's getting there. But the CBS for sure with that maple barrel stuff that they do.
That was syrupy for sure. Right. I like the maple a lot. See, maybe the crossover when you decide what you like. I thought the maple was a very positive taste in that stout. So I really like that. KBS, I didn't have any complaints with. It's just that, you're starting again, the price point starts going up. KBS over this, CBS even more. But with these beers, I guess certainly worth paying the price because they're really high-level, world-class beers.
Right. So Ronnie says that he looked for this, but it's not around here. It was just released, Ronnie, and the availability, I think, goes through November. So keep an eye out for it. Florida should be getting this pretty soon because as far as I know, Florida has pretty good distribution with Founders does go down to Florida. So keep an eye out for it, Ronnie. I think you might be able to get this soon. I think because I live so close to Atlanta and we have so many craft breweries around here, and I think that I got it a little bit sooner than most people, but it definitely should be making its way down there. Alex, the beer master, is in the chat as well. Cheers, Alex. Yeah, anybody out there that likes darker beers should definitely check this out. If you're looking for, if you're thinking Newcastle or something like that, you're either going to be pleasantly surprised or sorely disappointed, depending on what your personal tastes are. This is a very heavy beer in the sense that it drinks more like a porter or a stout, and it's boozy because it's barrel aged, but it's world class. And if you're into craft beer, honestly, I don't see how you could go wrong with this.
The only people who I think might not like this if you don't like bourbon. In other words, if you don't like the alcohol mixed in with the beer, and there are some people like that, then you should stay away from any bourbon barrel aged beer, because then that's the main component. Now, the coffee is amazing too, but I don't think you would buy this just for the coffee. It's the effect of the bourbon together with the coffee that makes it so good.
Right. It's perfectly balanced in that sense, I think. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm so glad that you bought it and were able to try it, and that we did this live examination. I mean, I knew you would love it. We both, like a lot of the same beers, but Founders has been hitting it out of the ballpark.
No, I'm actually at least mildly surprised. I didn't get to try the agave one you recommended, because the Mas, what was it called? There was one.
Mas Agave, which is a tequila barrel aged imperial goza.
And you like that? You like that one too?
I do. If you don't like, I mean, it's obviously a beer, but if you don't like margaritas, if you don't like that lemon lime type thing that you get with a margarita, you might not like it. But I thought that it had really good bready notes. The tequila barrel came through. It was very boozy in the same way that this is boozy, but it was balanced with the lemon lime flavors. And because it is a goza, it had salt added as well. So it was very tart. It was very warming and boozy. But it was really good. I mean,
and it tasted
hard to describe. That one was really unlike any other beer that I've had from Founders. It was definitely a unique beer. And anybody that can buy that can find that, I highly recommend it. You should be able to get it maybe at some point again, Michael, because as far as I know, it's still around. Maybe you just.
I can ask Kuzi again, because I think I told you the story. She must have ordered a 6-pack or 2, and she said it was there, and I just didn't come in to get it. And then I came and I said, "Where's this thing?" And she said it's sold out.
It's sold out. Yeah.
I guess she can reorder it. Hopefully, she has more of this than she did of that, because I definitely want to get more.
This is definitely a notch above that, in my opinion. As much as I like that, that's not a gimmicky beer, but it's just, this is such a classic in the sense that you get all the roasted malt, the coffee, the bourbon. It's also well balanced. The Imperial Goza, tequila aged Goza, although I thought it was excellent, it's such an oddity that you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. I don't really think there's anything in between with that.
I think somebody who likes margaritas and also likes beer would like it.
Somebody who likes margaritas, that likes barrel aged stuff, and that likes a lot of alcohol, because I think it was 12.4%.
Well, this is 11.9. This one we're having now, and to me,
definitely.
You didn't tell me what it was. I would guess it's more in the 7 to 7.5% area, and that's a lot when you can hide 5%.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, between 7 and 8%, but definitely doesn't taste like an 11.9er. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the coffee that they add to it. Whatever it may be, usually when you get this high, you get a significant warming effect going down. I'm not really even getting a warming effect.
The head has fade. Sometimes with these beers, you won't have a head. Look, you still have, it's not as big as it was when I poured it, but you still have a slim head. So it just shows you how craftfully it is done.
Right. You got Ron Ontario in the house.
He has one now.
So Ron, you're going to like it so much that you should buy another one, and we can all do another examination on your channel.
Because Alex, the beer master, wants to get one and come on.
Alex, the beer master, wants one. The Whiskey Scout, if he can't find, well, he's going to have one in another couple days, because I'm going to send him one. He's sending me that big ass money stout, so I'm going to send him a couple of these with some Georgia craft beers. So we should all do a big old examination on your channel for round 2, buddy.
And also, John, when you get your big ass money stout, I'll do one with you, just general evil twin, because I have a lot of other evil twins. I'll just do another
Right.
evil twin at the same time.
Right. I got some more evil twin
I was
stuff
gonna
too.
I was going to mention before that we did have one this summer, an evil twin IPA called Simcoe Slacker that we did not like. So it shows you that they're not 100%, but nobody is.
Right. I don't think I've had an evil twin that I haven't really liked yet, but some of the stouts that I've had for them are a little too much, like syrupy, heavy. Like I don't really like when the stouts get too syrupy because it's almost like even getting through 116 ounce can be a chore.
Well, the even more Jesus one, the 12%er is in that syrupy area.
Right. But it's strange though, the even more cocoa Jesus or one of the other ones that's like a different variant of that was not syrupy. So it's
I guess what it is the different other components, the coconut that's in it. I think there's maple syrup in the coconut one as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe that's
maybe that tones it down. Drunken One says he's going to try it, so that means Drunken One's now.
Right. So Drunken One, hey, we could do a big old extravaganza.
I'll buy more. I'll definitely buy another couple of these. I love it.
I got 3 more in the fridge. This is the 3rd 4-pack. They're ordering 15 more cases, so I will be buying it as long as I can get it. That's how much I think about this beer, for whatever that means to all the people out there watching. I really think highly of this beer.
Sell her some of this too.
You could definitely sell. Yeah, we didn't mention that before. You could definitely sell her this beer. 11.9% barrel aged. You could probably. I don't.
You can keep this 5 years without any.
It says when they bottled it. See, we're drinking it super fresh. Or at least mine is. Mine was bottled on August 8th. So a little over a month.
Let me see. I'm gonna have to get up just to look at this. Let me see when mine was bottled.
Which honestly, though, when you think about it, it was bottled on this date. Well, okay, it was cave aged for a year in bourbon barrels before they bottled it. So the freshness date as far as they bottled it doesn't necessarily have as much relevance as it would for other beers.
Mine was bottled on August 7th. Is that when you said yours was too?
August 8th.
All right, so mine was bottled the day before yours. That's really close.
So
and it's coming out of the same place because their only brewery is in Grand Rapids. That's where
Grand Rapids.
They did a major amount of it in early August and then shipped it out.
Absolutely. So we gave our ratings 99 out of 100 for the both of us. World-class stuff, people.
Okay, John, I have a question. Is this the best? Is this the best bourbon barrel aged thing you've ever had? Or have you given something else 100?
No, it's not the best. I gave the Bourbon County Stout 2017 version that I had. I gave that one 100. I think at the time I gave the CBS 100 when I reviewed that, but I think I like this better than the CBS.
So you might roll back that 100 to a 99.
Right. Like I said, for all intents and purposes, this is a perfect beer in my book. The only reason I'm not giving it 100 is because I know that I'm going to try something that's going to, when you start giving beers 100, you really put yourself in a corner. I mean, this is mind-blowing in the sense that I've never had a beer that balances coffee and bourbon so well together, but I have had beers that are slightly better than this. One being the 2017 Bourbon County Stout, Northwood Stout Edition. The CBS takes a backseat to this one now, so that is bumped back down to a 99 or 98. This one I like better than that. But there have been a few over the years. But this is, like I said, this is just they hit a home run with this. It is, for all intents and purposes, it is the perfect brown ale. If you like bourbon, if you like roasted barley malt, if you like coffee, you're going to love this beer. And there's just no doubt in my mind that you will.
Now, I've discussed my theory on 100. I haven't tried. Right. I haven't tried that Belgian Westervelt or
Westphal 12. Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe one of those would be 100 for me because those are supposedly some of the best crafted Belgian beers made. I've had some of the other ones from the other Belgian breweries, which I had more like 97s and 98s, but nothing that was 100.
Right. And you know, Ron does, if Louisiana Beer Reviews is still watching, he does his a little bit different than I do mine as far as reviewing beer. He'll do excellent is, you know, a solid A is 93 to 100, or, you know, and then an A plus is, I guess, 97 or 98, 99, 100. With mine, you still have the A minus and the solid A's. But world class, Ron's always said that world class beer for him is better than 100. To me, like a 98, 99, 100, those all qualify as world class beers in my book.
Yeah, I'm with you. And even a 97 is bordering on it, where if you're just finding a few little minor imperfections, it's almost world class.
Right. I mean, world class, to me, even within world class, there can be a little bit of discrepancy. Not to say that it's not world class, but it's different. So to be able to differentiate between a low end world class and just, you know, you have to have those 2 or 3 numbers. And I think 98, 99, and 100 for me, that's world class. And I've heard you say as low as like a 96. Like you'll say, so this is 96, and you'll say that's pretty much world class. And at that point, we're just kind of getting nitpicky, I guess. But
it gets nitpicky because I gave the Sierra Nevada Porter a 96, and I found that to be an amazing porter. But it's 3 points less than this, and those 3 points are pretty heavy because this is just amazing. This is, like you say, bordering on 100. I haven't given any 100. I'm going to give it a 99. At some point maybe I will give 100 though.
Right.
It's
when we try all the beers in the world one day, if that ever happens, then we can come back and raise our score from a 99 to 100.
But there's nothing wrong with you taking the CBS down 1 point if you find something that is noted.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I do prefer this to the CBS. Now, this is going to be the last year the CBS is released, so I will buy the 2019 version. And I would love to.
Maybe you should buy more than one.
Yeah, I probably will. I would love to do a comparison, a side by side with the CBS and the Underground Mountain, and see which one I really prefer. Because I say I prefer this, but you know, like Ron Ontario says, you got to do the challenges side by side to really know for sure.
Right.
So,
and brown ales are definitely different than stouts. Just the way they're configured, there's a lot more lightness to this compared to the stouts. And I agree with you. This is more medium bodied. Both those stouts from Founders, the CBS and the KBS, are both heavy bodied.
Very heavy, especially the CBS with the maple syrup in there. Yeah.
And all the bourbon barrel ones are very heavy bodied as well.
Right. Hey, we've got Tyler in the chat.
Hi,
cheers, Tyler. And here's Ronald with talking about the West Flatarian 12. He says that that's above 100. You got to call him as you see him.
I wish there was still a bottle so I could try it. I don't know if I'll.
I'd love to try one of those. I think the only person that might, in our group anyway, that still has one is Shane Fudge, and he was talking about drinking. Actually, you know what? I think he drank his last one for his birthday, so he might not even have any left.
David Garlapede has one, I think, that Ron gave him, unless he had it.
Oh, okay. I don't know. David does actually cellar a lot of beers of his own. He has boxes where he keeps beer. But I don't know. I don't remember him.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm something else. But you got to try.
I'm sure Ron would know if he still had it or not. But I'm not sure.
You got to try some of his more rare stuff too while you were there.
Yes, yeah. David was very generous. He let me try a lot of great stuff while I was down there, and he let me take home some good stuff. The Guinness Bullet bourbon barrel aged stout, which they don't make anymore. And then we tried the St. Arnold Grand Cru, that's another one that was a 99. That was, incredible. We also tried one of the Funky Jubilations we did a review of that on Ron's channel. Everybody go to Louisiana Beer Reviews and check that out. It was like from 2015. And it was a barrel-aged sour beer, like 11 or 12% alcohol. Wow. Man, that sucker, you want to talk about, oh my God. The you could taste the the age on it. You just knew it was cellared. It was freaking delightful.
Sounds amazing. You got a chance to try the Evil Twin Grand Cru, which was one of those.
Yes, and I actually they still have 4-packs at the liquor store that I was at
because
the other day.
That's on the very good side too. I think I gave that a 95 or a 96 also.
I think I gave the regular Grand Cru like a 97. The Grand Cru Cuvée I actually liked less, which the Cuvée basically just is a blend. They blended several different beers.
I think I agree with you. I like the regular Grand Cru better also than the
right.
I have a couple left. I have one of each of those left here too.
Really? Now that'd be an interesting thing, cellaring a couple of those to see how those develop, because those are also very high alcohol, and of course, being that they're bourbon barrel aged and they're very high alcohol, they're going to age. They're going to age very well. Right. So we've got View to a Grill. Johnny, he's back. Well, thanks for coming back, Johnny. We appreciate it. Alex, the Beer Master. That's what I'm going to do, John, if I ever find it. What do you mean, Alex?
I guess the never means he doesn't expect to find it, I guess.
Maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. Well, we both agree this is a world-class beer. I'm glad you got to try it, Michael. I am looking forward to buying some more of this while I still can. And I'm very excited about the future of the Founders Barrel Age series. This may be the last year that they do the CBS, but if they keep putting out beers like this every year to replace them with, then I'll be a very happy camper.
It's fine. And it looks like they're continuing the Barrel Age series. So as long as
the article that I read said that the reason that they are discontinuing the CBS, or this will be the last year, is because they want to focus their efforts on new ventures with the barrel age stuff. So like I said, they do stuff like this. I got no problem with it.
I'm with you.
Bumpy, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Cheers. We're just finishing up our Founders Underground Mountain Brown ales here. If you ever find this, Bumpy, which I think you can up in New Hampshire, buy it. You will love it. And if you don't, I'll send you a check in the mail.
Maybe other people will come on when we go off. We can hang out for a little while longer. I'm okay for a while.
Yeah, I'm okay. Once we go off air here, the link is posted in the IBRG chat. Everybody come on. We'll have an off-air discussion. Ronald Terrio says Paul Albert, who used to join us, still has a bottle of the West Flatarian 12. All right. So go ahead and send me his address, Ron, in the private chat. We'll take care of that.
John will head right over and see.
I will head right over.
Split it with him.
So Alex
meant the CBS.
The CBS. That's right. Bumpy has his wife bought him the Underground Mountain Brown for his birthday, and that's one of the beers that he's got a review coming up. So everybody go check out Bumpy Road Brewery. I'd be very now, Bumpy. If you give it less than a 45 out of 50, I might have to unsubscribe to your channel. Just a heads up. Ron says he should drive up to New Jersey and eat at Maritz's. Yeah, that's the place that Alex goes to a lot, where he gets his pork egg roll and cheese hoagie, however you say that.
Yeah, interesting.
And one of these days, I'm going to go up there too. Visit Alex, visit Michael. It'll be the great beer adventure. All right. Well,
you have to take your trip to Dallas first, just to get your airline experience.
Right. I missed this comment earlier. Ron broke down his scale a little bit more for us since we were talking about him. So 98 to 100 is outstanding for him, and then 100 plus is world class. For me, there's nothing over 100 because 100 is perfect. You can't have better than perfect, right? At least that's the way I see it. Not that I disagree with what you're saying. Ours, for the most part, Ron and I have very, very similar. I mean, it's pretty much the same, other than when you get to the 98s to 100s. That's where we differ slightly, but I think we're all on the same page.
I do agree with his scale, but since I've never given anything 100, I guess I don't find anything super world class. This is what he's saying, that it's even
right. I mean, to me, world class is world class, and the only way to to each his own.
It gets nitpicky at the top. There's no way around it.
It has to get nitpicky at the top because and honestly, in today's world, And I promise we'll get off of here in a second. We're just having a good conversation here. But yeah, there's so many A beers, and I know Ron is still in the chat. There are so many A beers now. Honestly, to get anything less than an A now is almost, it's not normal, because the quality control standards for all these craft breweries now is just as good as the macros, whereas 15, 20 years ago, the quality control standards for some of these microbreweries was very poor, and you might get a really good batch, you might get a really bad batch. But now the standards are equal, if not better, than the macros, and they know how to brew beer. I mean, there's so much literature on craft beer. We've got friends in our, thrash metal, homebrew and barbecue, Bumpy Road, who's in the chat. All these guys are homebrewers as well, and they make great homebrews. So right. Quality just keeps going up and up and up. So when you find beer that's less than an A, it's almost like, well, why even bother?
I know, it's true.
And yeah, Ron says Westmortarian 12 is better than perfect.
Hey,
well, Ron, I don't know. I have to try it for myself.
I hope to someday try it. I mean,
yeah, I hope so.
I've tried great Belgian beers, but not that one.
Right. Yeah. So Ron is agreeing. Higher. I see what you're saying. Yeah, we got you, Ron. All right. So thanks to everybody in the chat for
John, thank
commenting,
you for
watching. We really appreciate it.
Recommending this beer to me, because it's been better than I could have expected.
Absolutely. I'm very glad that you enjoyed it. If you gave it anything less than the 98, I would have felt bad for recommending it. But I knew that you would really, really enjoy it. So
it's excellent.
Bumpy says he makes some mediocre homebrew. You know what, Bumpy? I don't believe that. I believe you're just too hard on yourself. Anyway, so thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much, Michael, for buying the beer and joining me. I'm glad you were able to get it and do this examination with me. So we're going to take it off air now, and anybody that wants to join,
you knows how much I have left.
I've been maybe mine a little bit, but it's going to go down really easy once we get on here. So thanks everybody for joining. Until next time, guys, cheers. Have a great rest of the week, and we will see you on the next one.
Cheers, everybody.
Right.
Enjoy.